Hey guys, in today's video I thought I would do a little comparison video of these two concealers right here. I have seen a lot of people doing a comparison and I thought I do have the Shape Tape, so why not just get this one and do a little comparison for you guys and let you guys know what I think of the concealers. So I've never really done a review on the Shape Tape just because I was really late to the game getting it and I just didn't think there was any point. Like, you've probably seen 1,000,001 reviews already. So this is kind of like my thoughts on it as well as what I think of the Makeup Revolution concealer as well. As you'll know, there is a huge price difference of £16. So this one is £22, this one is £4. So although this one is a lot cheaper, you do get a lot less product in the tube. So in this one you get 3.4ml and in the Tarte Shape Tape you do get 10ml. But as you'll see me say later on in the video, you could buy 4 of these and it would still be cheaper than this. I think that's right. Yeah, that's right. That'll be £16 and this would still be 22. So there you go. You could buy 5. And it will still be cheaper. That's crazy. So if you want to see these concealers go head to head, then please keep on watching. So before I put these two to the test, I want to sort of swatch them on my hands for you so that you can see the difference in the shade. So in the Tarte Shape Tape, I got the shade Light Sand. And in the Makeup Revolution concealer, I got the shade C2. So this is the second lightest in the range. So I'm just going to swatch them on my hands for you so you can see the difference. So this one is the Tarte one and then this one is the Makeup Revolution. So you can definitely see that the Tarte one has a more yellow golden undertone and the C2 from the Makeup Revolution is more of like a neutral to pink undertone. I wouldn't say it's a pink undertone, I would say it's more of a neutral, but it does have a little bit more pink in it than the Light Sand. But with them swatched next to each other, they do look very similar. The formula looks the same. So these are the applicators. So you can see they are very similar. The Makeup Revolution one is still a little bit smaller. This is the Makeup Revolution one right here, and then this is the Tarte one. So it is still slightly smaller, like if I hold them up quite close together. You can see the Tarte one is a little bit wider and the Makeup Revolution one is a little bit thinner, but it's also a little bit longer. They both also have almost like an indentation in the top of the doe foot, and I think that's probably just to hold a little bit more product so you get sort of like the maximum amount of product placement. But yeah, altogether I feel like they are very similar. So in the Tarte one, it does say on the bottom that it carries 10ml, which is like a good amount of product. And the Makeup Revolution one is 3.4ml, so you do get a lot more product in the Tarte one. But obviously for the price difference, it doesn't really matter because this is £22 and this is £4. So you're going to be able to buy like 4 of these and it'll still be way cheaper than this one here. Yeah, let's just put them to the test. I'm going to do Tarte on one side, Makeup Revolution on the other, so you can see exactly how they perform. And I'm going to be really happy if this Makeup Revolution one is like as good or better than the Tarte one, because I love my Tarte Shape Tape so much. It has changed my concealer game for sure, as like my under eyes are quite a big thing for me. Like they're one thing on my face that I do get quite self-conscious of, and yeah, this has definitely sort of like changed that for me because I do feel like the coverage is so good. So let's see how this one compares. So I'm going to apply the Tarte on this side, just how I usually would, so right up underneath the eye. I'm just going to start with the under eyes for now, and then I'll do the rest of my face highlighting after. And then exactly the same on this side with the Makeup Revolution. So they do look very similar on the skin. Obviously this one just does have a little bit more of a yellow undertone, which for me I do prefer. So I'm just taking a damp beauty blender and I'm just going to blend the Tarte one out first. So that's blended out really nicely. I obviously know that I love this one, so now I'm going to blend out the Makeup Revolution one. So that's also blended out really nice. One thing I will say is I definitely don't have as much coverage on this side, whereas this side it's instantly sort of covered up my darkness and it's just made this sort of like hollowness less apparent, whereas on this side I can definitely see a little bit of my darkness coming through. I can see the sort of hollowness here as well. So what I'm going to do is just pop a tiny little bit more on this side, just in the areas where I think I need it, so just mainly in that sort of area here. I'm just going to set my under eyes with my usual RCMA No Colour Powder. So they both set really nicely with that powder. I still do feel like I have a little bit more coverage on this side. And yeah, the colour for me on this side is just a little bit too cool. So it almost makes my under eyes look a tiny little bit ashy in sort of this lighting in real life. I don't know if the camera sort of picks it up very well because of obviously the lights do affect the picture in the camera. I don't think my exposure is very good either, like it keeps going in and out of being overexposed, so I think that's something I need to look at. But in real life, yeah, to me it does look tiny little bit ashy just in this area right here where I have the darkest pigmentation, whereas on this side I feel like because of the golden undertone it sort of just helps to lift that and brighten that up. But other than that, I really like the finish of both of the concealers. So for a sort of £16 difference, this is great if you cannot get hold of the Tarte one or you might not be able to afford it right now. Then the Makeup Revolution one is a really good dupe for it. I think for me personally, I find it very hard to find concealers that are able to cover everything. But definitely think it's an amazing buy for £4. But yeah, they both look really nice, especially like when they're set. For me, that is a big thing if they don't look nice. I do have drier skin and drier under eyes, so if they look super dry when I set it with powder, then it's a big no-no for me. But both of these don't look super dry. I definitely do think that the Makeup Revolution concealer is an amazing dupe for the Tarte Shape Tape, and it's so accessible. Everybody can get to it. You can get it in Superdrug in the UK and you can get it online on Superdrug as well, and I just think it's amazing for £4. I don't know how they've done it and made it so similar, but it's amazing. It's a really good product, and I would definitely go out and buy this because there's a £16 difference, and yeah, you do get more product, but you could still buy more than one of these and it will still be cheaper than this. Okay guys, so I just went on and finished the rest of my makeup off, and I can definitely say it's probably been about 25 to 30 minutes since I applied and set the concealer, and if I look at it now, it still looks perfect on both sides. So obviously I will see how it wears throughout the day. I do think these are definitely comparable. The only thing that for me is the coverage, and it's not that there is a huge differentiation in the coverage. This one is obviously insane coverage. This is also really incredible coverage, but for me, I do have more problematic under eyes. They are very dark and they are quite sunken in. The lights that I use, like, they do sort of have two soft boxes and a ring light, and it does sort of really brighten up my under eyes. But if I sort of tilt down, you can see this sort of hollow line here. My under eyes are very sort of like indented, and they are very dark. So for me, I struggle to find concealers that are full enough coverage that are going to sort of make that less apparent to me, because obviously you always notice your own flaws a lot more than other people do. But yeah, so I always struggle to find one that I'm really happy with. So Tarte Shape Tape has been the first concealer in ever that I've found that I have thought, wow, like that really covers my under eyes and it makes them feel less visible to me. And the Makeup Revolution one does do that, but it's just not as full coverage for me as the Shape Tape is. Like, I could still see like a tiny bit of darkness just here, and I could see like sort of the indentation still. And I mean, if you turn towards the light, you can still see it on this side, but if you see when I'm turned this way, for me, looking in the viewfinder, that feels a lot less apparent than when I turn this way. Like, it still seems quite dark to me here. But that's not really like a huge issue. I would probably use this concealer for more like day-to-day wear, or I would wear it on like more no makeup days when I just want a little bit more coverage. So overall, I definitely think this is an amazing product, especially an amazing dupe for the Shape Tape as well. Just because this is so expensive, and if you're in the UK, it's not the easiest to get hold of. It is £22, and you can only get it off the Tarte website, which is an American website. Although you go on there and it's like a UK website, you still have to ship it from the US. So if you are not spending over a certain amount, the shipping is going to be about £15, which, I mean, to some people isn't that much, but for me, £15 shipping is a lot of money. But they do have a lot of deals on where you can spend over like £30–40 and you can get free shipping. So that's really good. Like, if you did still really want to try the Shape Tape, I would say maybe sign up to the emails and you'll get an email when they have that offer on. That's what I tend to do. I tend to go on there when they have offers on, just because I know that if there's an offer on, I can bulk buy more together and then get that free shipping or cheaper shipping. Another thing I will say about the Tarte website is, although you pay a lot for shipping, you don't have to pay customs charges, so that is all covered in the shipping costs. So that is a good thing to, you know, keep in mind. But this obviously is so accessible. If you're in the UK, you can just pop into Superdrug or order it on Superdrug online. They do a free click and collect service, so if you go into the store and it's sold out, but they have it online, just order it in and you can just go and pick it up from your local store. And it's usually like, I think mine took like 3 days because I did that because they didn't have any of the C2 in stock. So I hope you guys like this video. If you want me to do more comparison videos or more sort of review videos or first impressions, please let me know in the comments down below, because I don't do them very often, but I do really like doing these videos for you, especially for myself as well. Like, I love finding like dupes for expensive products because I love to save a bit of money, as does everybody. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe to my channel and don't forget to hit the bell icon as well, and that will give you notifications every time I post. And with that being said, I will see you in my next one. Bye guys. I can't breathe.